What's going on, guys? Coach Steve Wood here. I'm at Grit Growth MMA at Evolve in Royal Oak, and I'm really happy to be here to introduce a couple of footwork drills to you guys. We're really going to focus on boxing fundamentals. So Footwork 101, I really want to focus on my stance. So as you can see, I'm keeping my feet basically at 12 and 2 if I'm in an orthodox stance. If I'm a southpaw, southpaws will not leave you guys out. If you're left-handed, it's going to be opposite. Thinking of the hands of the clock, I'm at 12 and 10 here. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to teach everything from the orthodox stance for today. So feet are at 12 and 2. I'm going to keep the weight more on the ball of my foot. Knees are slightly flexed. Hips are back. So I'm sitting down into my stance a little bit, and I want to make sure that my hands are up, protecting my chin. Elbows are just sort of resting on my rib cage here, and my chin stays tucked, because we understand that we're going to be able to take a pretty good shot to the top of the head, but on the chin, that's the one we want to make sure we're avoiding, okay? So just to recap, feet are at 12 and 2, knees are slightly flexed, weight's on the ball of your foot, hips are sitting back, hands up, chin down, tucked right in, and elbows just sort of resting on your rib cage here. Now, as far as movement, we're going to work on lateral movement, which means straight lines, front to back, side to side. Rule number one is whichever way that I'm moving, that's the foot that's moving first, and I'm going to be pushing off the opposite foot. So if I'm pressing forward, for example, front foot moves first, pushing off that back foot on the ball of my foot, we're just going to step forward, step forward. If I want to move backwards, it's the opposite. So I'm going to push off this front foot, moving that back foot first. The important thing is I'm never breaking stance. So what I mean by that is if I'm moving left, it's left then right. If I'm moving right, it's right then left. What I want to avoid is crossing the feet over, because if I get caught here, I get hit, I get clipped, I get pushed, I have no balance. The reason we want to stay on the ball of our foot is it's a lot easier for me to move in and out of range than if I'm flat-footed and I'm on my heels. So I'm always light on my feet, front to back, side to side, keeping that distance between my feet. That's your lateral movement. Now, you're going to say that's all well and good, but what about if my opponent is changing directions? Because we know in a fight it's not going to be like a Mortal Kombat video game where we're just moving in straight lines on a linear plane. My opponent's going to move around me. So if my opponent moves around me to my right side, I'm going to pivot, which means I'm going to keep my front foot planted, turn 90 degrees, and I'm ready to face my opponent. Opponent moves around this way, same thing. I'm going to pivot, face my opponent. So just with those two simple footwork tactics, we can get you moving front, back, side, side, and changing directions. So we're going to introduce a really simplistic footwork drill that I call box step. Box step is exactly what it sounds like. If you think I'm going to draw a box, okay, a square here, and my footwork is just going to trace that box. So I'm going to start by moving forward, then I'm going to move this way, and then I'm going to move back, and then back to my point of origin. Making sure I'm never breaking stance. Hands stay up, chin stays down. Something you may want to just kind of bear in mind is that I often see when people are focused on footwork drills, they end up looking at their feet, or they end up dropping their hands and forgetting about what's going on up here. It's all part of the puzzle. So if I'm moving my feet, I want to get used to looking forward, feeling the floor, and not looking at my feet. Now I can incorporate both of those things, the pivots, the back steps, and everything all together, and just free flow. So as we start getting into shadow boxing, for example, I want you guys to remember all the different mechanics of the movement. So the first round of shadow boxing, typically, I'm going to focus just on movement, just on feeling that flow, moving my feet, getting my head off center line. Then I'm going to start incorporating defensive movements, and then finally, I start adding my attacks. So footwork is the groundwork for everything else that we're going to do. I really want you guys to take the time to put those fundamentals in. It's just like building a house. We need a strong foundation, otherwise it's going to be really difficult to build on top of that. If you get your feet right, everything else is going to follow. This is really the basics, the mechanic, moving your feet, learning how to punch, getting your head off the line, and keeping that weight evenly distributed between your both feet.